In this episode, I'm going to talk about data governance and AI. Specifically, what does the law require of you? We're going to go over things that you should know before you allow your users to input data in AI tools. First, what laws apply to you and what regulations and what contracts? With your specific contracts, do a review to see where you have made promises to your customers or to partners about how you'll handle data that you share and take those into account. With respect to laws and regulations, you need to look far and wide. Focus on AI-specific legislation and any kind of legislation that has relevance for your AI practices. What types of laws are we talking about? In the United States, several states have AI-specific laws, as do some federal agencies. Certainly abroad, many countries have AI-specific laws. But you need to look beyond those. For example, employment laws, anti-discrimination laws. They may have bearing on your AI use because they impose obligations on making hiring decisions. Consumer protection laws may apply. They may prohibit companies from intentionally or unintentionally falsely representing capabilities of their products or services. Same with product liability and safety laws, not to mention sector-specific regulations that have to do with particular services or data. You may also have government contract laws that apply, corporate governance regulations, national security certainly, and then general ethics mandates. So once you have that foundation down, then check the terms of service for any AI tool vendors or any third-party vendor that's going to use AI while providing a service or product to you, and make sure they're not giving themselves broad rights to use your data to train models or to provide to other customers, and that they're not giving themselves ownership interest in it. The default under business and enterprise licenses now tends to be your data will not be used to train models. Pay attention to if you have users using free or personal use versions of any AI tools, because the default position in those is almost certainly data will be used to train models and for any other purposes that the AI vendor wants to use them for. In addition, you need to think through the output and what you have the right to do with it. AI-generated content creates a gray area regarding ownership and infringement. If the content is not all from your information, it might be from external sources, you cannot be sure that it was taken without violating somebody else's copyright. So as you start using AI tools, look at the output, see if you can think through where it might have come from, and if you're comfortable that you do have the right to use it or not. Train your user to go through procurement, legal, IT, whoever they're supposed to go through to procure AI tools under a business or enterprise license to make sure your data is protected as much as possible. In addition, you need to check the admin settings for these tools all the time. Why do I say that? You will be surprised about settings in AI tools that change. In some cases, I've seen them change twice in 1 week. There's one tool that I use where the license agreement says they will not use your data to train models. But after having used it for a while, I looked at the settings and there was an opt-in, opt-out button for allowing my data to be used to train models. And it had been flipped to opting in. I opted out, but if I hadn't gone looking to check settings, I would have missed that. And then last is data minimization. Work with your organization to make sure you are not just opening your entire data repository, whether it's Google Workspace or if you're using an Office 365 platform, SharePoint, E5, etc. You don't want to just open that completely to an AI tool. That will result in users that are using the AI platform having access to files and folders that they otherwise wouldn't have access to. So just test it, see what's happening. And the general mantra here is don't just give access to all your data to an AI tool. But the reality is that's what they're being marketed for. Give us all your data and we will synthesize it, analyze it, tell you what's old, tell you what's new. We will help you rephrase things, organize things. We can just make your business magically better and faster and smarter. So that being the premise of these tools, it's hard to foster a culture internally where unfettered access to data is not the default position. Let's recap. You want to make sure you understand the laws and regulations that apply to you. contractual obligations that may apply to you. And then make sure your organization knows not all data is appropriate for input into AI. Look into whether the permissions that you have from your terms of service are appropriate. Look into the admin settings of a tool to make sure they're appropriate. And then check the matchup between access control restrictions that are set on folders and documents within your regular data store versus those same resources within an AI tool. Make sure that your third-party vendors are also applying by these same rules. Thanks for listening to another episode of Decoding Cyber Law. If you've got questions, check out the show notes, go to our website, or feel free to message me on LinkedIn.